Hello everybody, welcome to Monte Carlo for the 2022 Monaco Grand Prix. Max Verstappen has finally got the edge on his teammate in qualifying. He's left a bit to be desired in qualifying so far this year, Max, but here he is very much on pole. Max Verstappen, it is Carlossainz has got the edge over his teammate Charles Leclerc again, so Sainz will be starting from second place. And Leclerc actually looks like he was going to be quicker again, but it just didn't quite happen as the session reached its conclusion. Sergioperez only third. I'm sure Max Verstappen would love for Sainz to hold on ahead of Perez. It's the sort of track to do it. It would get him 10 points of the 25 he lost in Spain back, and goodness knows he needs it, because Verstappen has actually been superior to Perez for at least the last two races. Had him beaten in Spain and beat him in Miami anyway, but it's not showing in the championship due to his Spanish retirement. Spanish? I'm talking about Spain. Fernando Alonso, he follows up his performance by showing Alpine are still best of the rest here, getting a fifth place on the grid, really strong. I think was that Bottas in sixth, we think, so he's done well in quali. Mercedes, what can you say? Mercedes once again really, really poor, and yeah, at the moment we really are battering Mercedes, because yes, they had a good performance from Hamilton, but that was in Miami, but that was more of a Hamilton special, I think, than the car. The car has not been on the pace since Imola, and again here, Russell 8th, Hamilton 9th, just nowhere. Now I must remember to announce something that I should have said before the Spanish Grand Prix, but I was very distracted by Fernando Alonso being on the front row there. There was a bit of news before the Spanish Grand Prix. Next year's calendar has been announced, and the news is that it's basically the same, but with a bizarre decision to switch the British Grand Prix and Abu Dhabi Grand Prix around. So Silverstone will close the season as Britain is entering winter, and Abu Dhabi will be in the place of the British Grand Prix in mid-July. So an interesting swap there. But now it's the Monaco Grand Prix, and we shall watch as Max Verstappen attempts to catch up a bit to Sergioperez in the World Championship. Perez has been so consistent. Max hasn't had much luck with reliability yet. But here we go, away from the line they go. And Perez, will Max trying to box him in? I don't think so. Perez is going to go straight up the inside of Carlossainz, and Alonso inside Charles Leclerc as well. So Fernando Alonso clearly continuing that form from Spain. He is hungry. Verstappen leading Perez, Sainz in third. Alonso is sitting in fourth place. He's got ahead of Charles Leclerc. So good start from everybody so far, we believe. But Max already has got to really guard against Sergioperez. I'm amazed he didn't lose his front wing there. There was certainly a few sparks fly off. Perez is still very much in the position. Max, though, he knows that he has the track position, and around Monaco, that is the one that counts for the very most. So you can see there, Leclerc is in fifth, Ocon is in sixth. He's got ahead of Bottas. Hamilton has managed to pass George Russell. Hamilton wearing a white helmet today. I can't remember that in the real life Monaco Grand Prix, but that is how it is in the game. So there we go, back towards the front, and Sainz is in the wall. Sainz has lost his front wing, and Alonso is through. So, well, Sainz was in a good position to attack, but now that mistake, maybe in his haste to get back ahead of Sergioperez, Carlos Sainz has pushed too hard, and he has made a critical error, and now Alonso can close up on those two Red Bulls. Fernando Alonso, for the second race in a row, has got a chance to fight for the victory against the Red Bulls. Who would have predicted this a couple of races ago? And that's Leclerc running a bit wide, hitting the wall there. Hopefully he hasn't caused any damage to Ferrari. No, I don't think he has. But it is Red Bull versus Alonso, and Perez is on wide, and will Alonso get him going up the hill? Is Perez going to get himself back together in time? He does. Perez regains his composure. Remember, he had a moment like that with Lewis Hamilton in Miami. They both made a mistake, but Alonso didn't make the mistake this time. Just didn't quite have the traction to pass him on the way up the hill. That's a shame, but they are running 1, 2, 3, 4 in very close formation here. Verstappen, Perez, Alonso and Leclerc, and any one of these four could still win this Grand Prix. But it's Max Verstappen who has the track position. And we're hearing Valtteri Bottas is out of the race, so that's a shame for him. He was on for some solid points today. Look at those Mercedes are gradually catching up to Ocon, and Vettel is up in the 9th in his Aston Martin there. So this race, it's been another good race. Fernando Alonso could compete for the victory again, but Verstappen leads through. There's Perez. Oh, he chips the wall, and Alonso in sympathy follows Perez, and I think he's totally lost his front wing. Fernando Alonso, and he's holding up Charles Leclerc. Well, Leclerc gets through now, and he's going to be holding up his teammate. Oh, God, and Perez has broken down. I don't believe it. Another issue for Red Bull, but this gives Max Verstappen the chance to A, get away, and B, to take back that championship lead and gain back those 25 points he lost. But look who is in third place. It's Lewis Hamilton. He must have taken advantage of the combination of Alonso running without a front wing and then Perez being broken down the middle of the track to help him get ahead of Estebanocon. Who would have expected us to see a Mercedes in the podium places today? Lewis Hamilton has somehow managed it, but Verstappen is well clear, although Leclerc is closing him because he knows once again Verstappen's not under any pressure to push. Leclerc is. Leclerc wants the result. He's going to have a look at that Red Bull. Max Verstappen trying to win this race, but Charles Leclerc, he will want to win it as well. And look at Lewis Hamilton closing on them both. Max is running this at the pace that he wants to run it at, but this has been a great race, and now we see the Ferrari in range of challenging for the victory. The Mercedes is in range, and even Esteban Ocon's Alpine is in range now. So the excitement in this race continues, and the tension. Max Verstappen going into the Leclerc has lost his front wing. I don't believe it. That's two Ferraris that lost their front wing in this race, and Lewis Hamilton has now got a great chance to take second place. Can Leclerc hold on? He's not got that long to go. Hamilton does get through on Charles Leclerc. So Lewis Hamilton up in the second place. If you'd said to him at the start of this race that he would have that position, he would have absolutely taken your hand off for it. But he can still maybe pass Verstappen, but not realistically. We're on the last corner. Max Verstappen comes down the home straight and wins the Monaco Grand Prix. A very dramatic Monaco Grand Prix, but Max Verstappen managed it perfectly, and he takes a much deserved victory to go back to the top of the World Championship standings by 5 points ahead of his teammate Perez. But Lewis Hamilton, that result will be very encouraging for him. We have battered and criticised Mercedes for weeks now, but Verstappen, the engine goes, but the race is over. It won't harm his result. For Lewis Hamilton, that came a lap too late. For Max, it came perfectly on time. So Max Verstappen wins the Monaco Grand Prix for Red Bull. Mercedes, double podium. Obviously Leclerc's issue, he must have been able to hold off Ocon, but not Russell, and Russell took advantage of that. So Verstappen wins the race. Hamilton second, Russell third. Great result for Mercedes. Fantastic, especially considering we have battered the hell out of Mercedes lately, because apart from Lewis Hamilton's super qualifying performance in Miami that set them up well for the race, they have been nowhere since Imola, realistically. So much relief at Brackley today, and can they maintain it through to in Baku? That's the next question. Leclerc holds on for fourth place. Ocon in fifth for Alpine. Guan Yu Zhou and Pierre Gasly, the two drivers who were still pointless this season. This season isn't so pointless for them anymore. 6th and 7th place for those two. Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll. Aston Martin were not quick today, but Vettel and Stroll did what they had to do and kept their heads together to bring home some solid points. And Yuki Tsunoda rounds off the points finishers in his AlphaTauri, and then the rest behind. But so many missed opportunities that Max Verstappen always seemed to have the lead pretty well sewn up, but behind them it seemed nobody wanted second place. And in the end, Lewis Hamilton gratefully took it. Let's have a look at the World Championship now. Max Verstappen back into the lead, 110 points. Perez on 105. George Russell, 64. Just ahead of Hamilton, who's on 63. Sainz on 60. Leclerc on 59. Alonso, 50. Norris, 39. Ocon, 36. Then it's Vettel, Ricciardo, and the rest of them. The Constructors' Championship. We see Red Bull on 215. Mercedes on 127, so they're back ahead of Ferrari now. Ferrari on 119, Alpine 86, leaving McLaren a long way behind. McLaren on 58, and with Aston Martin closer to threatening them, they're on 42 points. Then you have Alfa Romeo, Haas, AlphaTauri and Williams. And all the teams have at least scored 10 points between their two drivers. That's not bad at all. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this race as much as I've enjoyed commentating on it. Please like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. And take care. We'll see you soon.